Hey everyone, Joe Dorado here, co-host of Film Juice. Before the episode starts, I just wanted to give a little disclaimer for this episode. This was our first time recording the podcast, so we're having a little bit of technical difficulties setting up the microphones. We thought the one microphone was recording, but it actually wasn't. So in this first episode only, I will not be mic'd. You can still hear me pretty good, but yeah, just so you know, that's why I'm a little bit more quiet than Andrew, but it's all good. You can still hear me pretty good. And next episode it'll be completely fixed because, as you can hear now, my mic sounds pretty great. So we fixed it, we figured it out, and it's all going good. So be sure to tune in next week, and enjoy the episode. Hey everybody, welcome to Film Juice, first episode of the podcast. My name is Joe Dorado.
And I'm Andrew Canada, and this is our show where we review movies.
Yeah, we review movies, shows, and new movies, old movies, new shows, good shows.
Some bad shows. But if you're not familiar with the show, Film Juice, we used to have a television program.
Yes.
And now we're transferring to a podcast so we can keep it going. Every week we talk about anything that's interesting us, as well as some new movies, and we always do a throwback each episode. This can be anything from a silent film to a more contemporary movie, from even as recent as the early 2000s.
Exactly. 10 years is our rule for the throwback. If you ever want to see any of the old episodes of Film Juice, we do skits, and it's a fun time. That is on YouTube. Just look up Film Juice WNYF, and you will find it there.
Yep, we had 4 seasons, and you can rewatch them as many times as you want.
Season finale is definitely one to watch. For
yeah,
sure.
That was
the
great.
The series finale is definitely one to watch for sure. If you can only watch one.
But now we've got a whole new bag here with the podcast.
And we're ready to go.
Yep.
It'll be a fun time.
And we hope you guys are ready to go too. We hope you enjoy it. Here it is, the first episode. Hey everybody, and welcome to the first ever Film Juice podcast.
Woo!
You love the TV show, and now we're here, we're in your ears in an audio format. If you don't know, it's me, Andrew Canada.
And me, Joe Dorado.
Yep, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. We got some movies. We used to have a TV show and turned into this podcast, but I like the podcasts. I should say at the beginning, since we're on a podcast, the rules are a little different. We don't necessarily have to abide by some FCC regulations, and Joe and I can sometimes tend to have more of a sailor's dialect, so there might just be a little bit more of that in these episodes, just so you know. But I love the audio. I love the audio medium. It's great. We can do anything, and you can't see us. Joe right now is wearing a maternity dress and his Mussolini hat.
Yes.
I didn't realize he was such a big fan of the famous dictator, but
you gotta represent. That's all I can say.
So how you been, Joe?
Oh man, I've been good. I've been ready to do this for a little bit now. I'm glad we're back at it.
I know,
again.
me too.
I'm ready to go. Sipping my water.
I know, and then it doesn't matter because nobody can see it.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is not. Let's keep it away from the ASMR space,
God,
Joe.
But yeah, I'm super pumped. This is gonna be great. So we got so much to talk about.
I know. Where should we start?
I think we should talk about. Let's start with Stranger Things.
Okay.
Go into Spider-Man.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Stranger Things Season 3 came out July 3rd. Or the 4th? Which day? Okay.
July 4th.
Okay.
Big deal about it.
Yeah. And I am going to be honest. I was worried.
I can't believe how worried.
I was super worried. I was talking about it for months.
Yeah.
Like beforehand, because I did not like the second season of Stranger Things. The first season, obviously,
I thought you did. Like,
I'm with it. I'm all about.
We reviewed the second season on the show, and I thought.
Oh, we did?
You liked it, yeah. We did.
I do not remember that.
Really? Yeah, you gave it like a decent review.
It was when I was still drinking, Joe.
It was.
The dark times for the show.
Yeah.
Dark times for the show.
No, you definitely like enjoyed it. Like.
Well, it looked so good. I mean, if there's one thing that the Duffer Brothers and Tim Ives, who's the DP on most of the episodes and has been for the past 3 seasons, they know what they're doing.
Oh, for sure.
Really well. They are really, really good at what they do. But I just thought that season 2, I don't like. They did the thing from. Like Aliens, where the monster this time around was just like a smaller version of the monster in the first one. You know what I mean?
Oh.
With the Demodogs.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they did not appear in season 3 because I didn't like that, and I didn't like the storyline with them and and Dustin. Excuse me.
You can argue the same thing for this season, though. You could argue that this season is literally them just ripping off the body snatchers.
Oh yeah, I mean it absolutely is.
So,
but I don't mind that as much as because it worked so well this season when they did that. And then 11's whole punk rock phase.
I liked that.
That was awful. I was
season 2.
I was dreading that gang she was with would come back.
Yeah. I think they got so much flack they didn't even bother. But
Good.
I mean, I actually liked that episode. I actually did not dislike it like everyone else did. I thought it was like a good episode to really like just. I don't know. We're talking about Stranger Things 2. We haven't even gotten on Stranger Things 3.
I know.
But, I actually was one of the few people who enjoyed the sophomore season more than the first season.
That is the most ludicrous thing I've heard you say in my entire life.
It's just, I don't know. Something about the second season I really enjoyed the second season. I just think they didn't have to set up as much.
Uh-huh.
And I really enjoyed Eleven's and Hopper's relationship. The whole dynamic was amazing. And
I like how that's evolved in this season a lot. It's so good.
That, but I also thought the second season did horror elements better than the
I would say. Okay, yeah, I kind of agree with that.
And
and with this third season as well, because I would say the third season.
Oh my.
While it was scary, there was also a big focus on mystery.
Okay, so Stranger Things 3. So I guess we should just start talking about it. So it starts off with if you've seen the previous 2 seasons, and if you haven't seen the previous 2 seasons, we will probably
spoil them and reference them a lot. It's been out it's your own fault.
You should see those. We won't spoil season 3. Not now, at least. We'll have a separate part in a little bit. But anyways, so Stranger Things 3. So it's summer. This is the first time it takes place in summer.
Right, they're out of school.
It's always
and I love it.
In fall.
Yeah.
So this is the first time it's taking place in summer, and they're older now. They're teenagers. I think they're preteens or teenagers.
They're preteens.
Okay.
Much to my chagrin. Yeah. I think that, so obviously they're still having trouble with the upside down, this other dimension bleeding into our own. But, the, what is it called? The mind flare. The mind flare from last season is back and wreaking havoc.
I think that's honestly all we can say without spoiling.
Yeah, but I would argue that the real monster of this season is puberty. And I think that is most eminent in the character of Will.
Oh my god.
Of course.
Oh man, that's so funny. Dude, the first scene in this whole movie is a makeout session, in this whole season is a makeout session. And between Mike and
which I'm surprised that I haven't heard a lot of people going crazy about that. I kind of thought it would be more like an Arya Stark scenario.
Yeah.
because we started off seeing the character
but
so
both
young.
kids, and it's I don't
Right.
know. Yeah, I don't know, but it wasn't. It was pretty.
It wasn't like it was.
Yeah, it was harmless.
Very true. Very true.
But and we can't even talk about that. That's I know I just referenced something, but that's not a big deal that I said that. But anyways, yeah. So, what did I like about this season? I really enjoyed the character development this season. I like how this season has the least amount of setup ever. They get right into it.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Me too.
And one character that stood out to me, he was so good in this season. He was great in the last season, but he was so good in this season, was Billy.
Everybody's talking about him. Everybody
Billy
is obsessed
killed.
with this guy.
You know,
I don't even know how to say his name.
yeah,
Decker?
yeah, I think
Decker
so.
Montgomery?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Wow. He killed it this season, and I'm so glad they brought him back. And
Yeah, me too.
He was just great. He was really good. He's just a great villain. He really is.
He nailed it. He played this character which had so many levels added to it this season, and he nailed it. So he did it so
sure.
well. And I can see why everybody's going crazy about him.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I'm surprised they weren't going crazy about him more last season.
I know.
I'm just glad to have him back. I also love what happens then with his relationship to Max, his stepsister. That's really interesting to see.
Max also one of my favorite characters this season.
Yeah. I think she was almost underutilized.
Oh no, for sure.
Which was great. I mean, she and 11 had such great scenes.
God,
like that was one of the best part. Yeah, absolutely.
I think 11 is also. I think she has the most character development out of anyone.
You can just even if you just look at the stills from the past seasons and you haven't seen it, I think you can tell.
I watched a scene from season 2 and compared it to season 3. It's so different.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. And it's been 2 years almost since the last season, so it makes sense. Insane. But they were great. Everyone else is great. What's his name? Gayton.
Dustin.
Gayton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dustin, I loved him so much this season.
Can't get enough of Dustin. Dustin has been my favorite character since the beginning, and we talked so much about the good characters.
He hasn't been my favorite character since the beginning. This is the first season where I was like.
Are you a Finn guy? Are you like a Finn guy? Have you been a majority of the time?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Now I'm like full, and also they introduced a new character. They introduced a few new characters, but the main one is what's her name? Nope, that's not.
Oh, Robin?
Is that her name?
Yeah, the girl who works at the ice cream place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She was great. I loved
her addition to the cast.
She was so good. I thought she was gonna be. At first, in the first episode, I was very worried about what they were gonna do with her character.
Me too.
But I think they did it great. Like
absolutely, because I think in any other series, if it had been anybody else doing this aside from the Duffer Brothers, that character would have been so one-dimensional.
Yes, and they did.
And she's obviously based on sort of, for lack of a better term, a stereotype that we've seen so many times. Yeah. But the way they open her character up is makes it so much better, and it's so great to watch.
I didn't even see what they were gonna do. What I thought I knew where they were taking her character. And then they had there's that whole scene with her and
Steve. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my, yeah, okay, she's like way more than like. I just thought that was great. Oh, that was such a good scene. Anyways, but Steve. Speaking of Steve, amazing. Amazing character. Love Steve Harrington so much.
You saw this season before I did.
Yes.
And so I was texting you throughout the whole time I was watching it, and a big part of what we talked about was Steve, because I don't want to forget what an asshole Steve was in the first season. I mean, unbelievable. Just the other day I was watching some clips, and it was unreal what a dick that guy was. Yeah. But I mean, credits to Joe Carey, because he can play both that guy, and it was. I don't know. It was a basic, kind of a seamless transition. Yeah. But his character in this is so different and kind of goofy.
I love it.
I like it too. He might be my favorite character. Oh my god. So ridiculous, but so good.
Oh, that scene. The first episode. Okay, I just want to bring this series is such a good. We're just talking about how much we love all the characters, but all the characters.
Not all the characters.
Not all the characters. We did not mention a few, but
yeah. I sent you a text message. It was
Yeah.
like there's only like 4 characters that like are good enough to
that's
like on
right.
the show.
You didn't like. Okay.
And it's Dustin, Hopper, Steve, and sometimes Billy. But I would argue probably all the time Billy now. I would say those 4.
I actually felt bad for Will this season. I felt really bad.
Why?
For Will because everyone's. He just wants.
He was so whiny.
Oh
he
my
was
God,
he was no offense
No,
to
Finn
old
was the whiny
to
one.
Noah.
No.
Oh my God,
Will
Finn.
was better.
But
Will was just like, dude,
when
I just want my friends back. Like, just Will's been trapped in the Upside Down, and now all of a sudden his friends are like assholes. Fuck.
they're not assholes.
Yeah.
They are not being the assholes. I mean, I'm not saying he's being an
felt
asshole
bad for
either,
Will.
but I didn't feel bad for him in the slightest. Not in the slightest. When he obviously everybody's growing up.
Yeah.
Lucas is dating Max.
That's
Finn's,
such a big theme
you know.
this season. Growing up is the overarching theme this whole season.
Yeah, Mike's relationship with Eleven.
Yeah.
And
I think
Will's
hits him
just
the
kind
hardest.
of-
I think it just hits him the hardest. I really
well,
do.
puberty hits him the hardest. I would say, I get, like, obviously they're getting older and stuff, but
Yeah.
it was prevalent most when I was looking at Mike and Will, but mostly Will. Because they're still dressing up, and I know it's supposed to be the 80s, and
Yeah.
he's wearing the short shorts and like a striped shirt,
Yeah.
and he looked like a grown man trying to dress like a small child.
Yeah.
Not to mention, and obviously we've all been through it, but Jesus Christ, that's Will.
Yeah.
That's my impression of
Yeah.
Will through this
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
And
That's fair.
like I said, when his friends didn't want to play D&D, I can't say I really felt bad for him. I get it's tough, but that scene, I won't spoil it right now, but there's a scene when it's raining, and I was like, this is okay.
Oh, I actually like that scene. I think it brings. I think that's a really good moment. I don't know.
I don't
like
know.
that scene.
I felt
know-
it was maybe a little overacted, honestly, on
I don't
Noah's
know. Maybe.
Noah's part.
I don't know, but that's to be debated later.
Yeah.
But anyways, Hopper was obviously amazing. Also,
Oh my God, so good.
Winona Ryder. Did I say her name right?
Yeah, yeah.
Winona? Great. Oh my God. She was
Yep, who
great in
plays
all
Will's
seasons.
mom?
Great in this
Joyce
season.
Byers.
And you know what? I think I loved most about this season because I can't talk about too much without spoiling anything. What I loved about this season more than anything is it's just an amazing way to bring, and I'm not saying it brings anything. It's a great way to end an overarching story.
I think you're right.
Not saying that this is the last season.
Yeah, they haven't said anything.
haven't said
People are
anything.
thinking that there's going to be season 4, but
It was an amazing story
Yeah.
to just. Oh my God! I just think it took everything from season 1 that was great,
Mm-hmm.
everything from season 2 that worked,
absolutely.
and then just put it together. And
Yep.
I think this is my favorite season of Stranger Things.
It's the solution to the equation that it was building up to, and it was balanced perfectly, I think. All those elements.
I really think this is my favorite season.
I might have to agree, because season 1 is obviously incredible.
Yeah,
But especially now, because we know all the characters so much better, this might be
and it has
my
a
favorite
great
one.
mix of the nostalgia that you
Oh,
love.
God.
Not just nostalgia, but like the good. What's the saying? It has the perfect mix of coming of age,
Mm-hmm.
mystery, and like horror. Like it's
Yeah.
great in action. Oh, dude! Now people complained about this season being slow. Like a lot of people.
That's ludicrous.
A lot of people who didn't like this season said that leading up to the last few episodes, it's really slow. I couldn't disagree. More. Dude.
Yeah, absolutely
No.
not.
No.
It's so, especially since, I mean, we've said this a bunch of times, but especially since they've brought back the mystery element so much in this season.
Yes.
I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Oh my God. This season is the most suspenseful.
Yes,
Like,
I completely agree. Because, it's separated into a few storylines, but all of them have some element of what's going to happen next.
And I also had, I just, had this sense of dread with certain characters. I don't know. Almost every single season so far, I've been like, okay, that character's safe, that character's safe. This season, I was like, I don't know who can die and who can live. Like, this is, I don't know. That's why I was so, on the edge of my seat most of the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, this season just hits it home with everything. It tugs at the heartstrings.
Definitely.
It fucking has a great amount of action.
Yeah.
And people were saying it doesn't, but man, I think people are just misrepresenting good pacing for, people are like, oh, it gets really slow until the end when there's a lot of action. It's like, just because there's not action throughout the whole...
Absolutely.
You don't need it to have action 24/7. This isn't Mission Impossible. I don't know, but anyways, I think it had a great amount of action. And the budget, you can tell how the budget just keeps getting bigger because, man, the effects in this season... so good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely. There's a real... You can notice a real improvement.
Oh, yeah. And they did a great job mixing practical and CG. I think they did a great job.
Which is the best. I don't think that... I honestly... As cool as, what you can do with CG effects are now, I don't think that people want to see something that's all CG.
No.
You have to have a practical element in there.
I'm really glad they did that. I don't know what else we can say without spoiling it. I really don't want to say anything else.
Okay.
I don't know. If you have anything else to say, go for it.
No, I think we can get into the spoilers part.
Okay.
So.
Well, I want to give us our scores.
Okay. Yeah.
So, if I had to give it a rating, I'd have to give it. I think I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow. That's pretty high.
It's my favorite season, and I don't think I'd give it a 10 out of 10, but I'm going to give it a 9. I think a 9 out of 10 is,
okay.
really good rating for it. It's great.
Yeah. I'm going to give it an 8. I still don't know which one I like better, this season 3 or season 1, but so much better than season 2. That much I can say. Oh, and I really enjoyed it. And if you're not watching Stranger Things, you should really get to it. I don't know who's not. I feel like almost everybody watches it, but
good.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, for everyone listening, we're gonna start talking about spoilers now. So close your ears and skip ahead if you don't want to hear spoilers. But if you've seen it, go on right ahead. Let's listen. Hi everybody, we're about to spoil Stranger Things 3. If you don't want to listen and skip ahead, go to 40 minutes, 40 seconds. You've been warned. Let's discuss.
Okay, let's jump right in, Joe.
Yeah.
Hopper is more alive than I am.
Dude,
guaranteed.
Can I tell you?
Guaranteed.
Can I tell you when that whole thing happened? I still even though after it ended and I came to my senses and I was like, he's probably still alive.
Yeah.
I still, in the moment, I was like, they just killed Hopper.
And you know what?
In the moment, I
think it was because it was so well acted.
I was like, he's dead.
I mean,
I cried. I wept like a
oh my god,
baby.
You're crazy,
dude. You didn't cry when Hopper died.
I knew he was gonna be alive. Okay, because I was like, the thing is exploding, and I was like, there's no way they're gonna show his body being disintegrated.
Yeah.
And if they don't, he's alive.
You know what made it for me be like, oh, he's probably still alive?
That one line?
No.
Oh, okay.
Right when he looked at the portal and it was still open and the thing was shooting in, I was like, he's gonna jump in there. Either
he jumped in or he got sucked in, but he went through there and he's alive.
And I think what happened was he's in Russia. I think
exactly.
He's in Russia, and he's the American that they captured.
There is no way that he's not.
Yeah,
I don't even think that we should be talking about this as if it's just some sort of fan theory. It's a fact.
But this is the thing. They ended the season. I think what happened, what the Duffer Brothers did with the season, and the director, we didn't give him any credit, which I feel bad about.
Well, they directed most of the episodes, I would say.
Sean Levy directs them all. I think they produce it and write it.
Well, they did. I know they did the last two or so
really?
of this season. I think they did more than previous seasons.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
Sean Levy is like the big director.
Okay.
I don't know. I just follow his Twitter, and he always it says director of Stranger. I don't know.
Right.
But anyways, he's great too. Is what I'm trying to get at. But anyways, what I was saying is they have not been. I think going into this season, they knew they might not get greenlit for a season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be ludicrous if they don't. But I think...
Yeah. I think at this point it just depends on if they want to do it or not.
Yeah.
And I feel that they will.
And I think what it comes down to is they ended it so well. Like, they gave this story such a great ending that they don't have to make any more if they don't want to. They don't. It has a great ending. I'm satisfied. Like,
Me too.
I would love to see more, but I'm satisfied
Yeah.
with this ending. I think it's an amazing way to close everything out. I mean, they moved. I don't know how they're going to continue from this season, anyways. Honestly,
I think that
they would do.
They are going. I can't remember. I was talking to somebody about this, and they said, and I agree with them, that the next season, and it'd be cool if it took place at Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Okay.
Christmas again. I know the other one's closer to it, but
for the holidays.
yeah, exactly. That would make sense for Eleven and Will to come back for that.
You know what I was thinking? It would be really cool if they did. They won't do it because it would be too long. It would be too much of a time investment. They also wouldn't do it because it just probably wouldn't work. My mind is like, oh, this would be a cool idea. How it is the kids and then the adults.
It jumps forward.
I was like, what if season 4 they were adults? But it was the same actor, so they would have to wait that long to do season 4.
Wow.
How crazy would that be?
That would be insane. It would be real. That would be the long game. Very much so.
They would have to wait at least... I'm not saying they have to be fucking, old.
Yeah, they don't have to be, 30. Not that 30's old, but,
It would at least have to be 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is...
enough time for Will's voice to even out.
But that's an investment in itself, 4 or 5 years, and then what if they
a lot?
And I was like, what if they're old enough to drive and they can do whatever? I'm like, dude, that'd be cool.
They don't have to get on the bikes anymore.
But this is the thing: if they did this is the issue with that theory, and I know they won't do it. But it'd be
especially because I feel like they would think it's too much like it, even though it would be cool.
And what I was thinking. As cool of an idea as I thought it was, I know it won't happen just for the fact that I think it would also take away the charm of what makes Stranger Things great is that they're kids. And, obviously they're growing up, and this season was all about growing up.
Yeah.
And which is why it's a great way to end it, too, because they're growing up and getting older and shit. But they're still the people that were in the basement
playing D&D.
Even though they're not playing D&D anymore, they're still those kids.
Oh my gosh!
Know.
When Will I don't know, brought out his cape.
I love that, dude. I love Will. God, I can't believe you're not a fan of Will.
No, I'm absolutely not. He was so whiny this season.
I just think I relate to Will.
I mean, it's sad that everybody's growing up and stuff, and he kind of wants to stay a kid. But when Mike asked him, "What, do you think we were just gonna play D&D in my basement the whole time?" and he said, "Yeah, I guess I did." I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, I know that you kind of don't want to see the truth. You don't want to see the truth here, but you can't think that for real.
Think of it from his perspective, though. He was in the Upside Down. He's been fucked with for the past 2 seasons.
That's very true.
He hasn't been able to live his childhood normally at all, and I think that's all he wanted to do. And he couldn't anymore because all of a sudden he gets back from...
So what you're saying is Will's going to turn into Michael Jackson and just try to make up for his childhood the rest of his life.
All I'm saying is Will got fucked over by the Mind Flayer, and all of a sudden he's like, okay, I'm ready to, finally be a kid now. And now it's like, oh, I have a girlfriend. Oh, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, I even have a girlfriend. No one thought fucking... whatever his name, Why do I keep forgetting his name?
Dustin?
Dustin.
Yeah.
No one thought Dustin was gonna have a girlfriend. All of a sudden, his fucking girlfriend that we had no idea existed comes out of nowhere. That was amazing. Oh my god, that was incredible. Holy shit.
Okay, I want to talk about that. Here's what I have to say. First and foremost, I knew that he wasn't lying.
No, I kind of did too. I was just like...
Because, of course, they're going to bring... At the very end, I was like, they're going to show that he was telling the truth the whole time.
Yeah.
Also, the thing about this season, as much as I, obviously enjoyed it, I especially liked the new Coke scene.
Oh, I didn't... I never knew that was a thing.
You didn't know new Coke?
Nope.
Well, that's good for them then, because they tried to bury that pretty hard. But anyways...
Was that a bad thing?
Yeah, they came out with new Coke in the 80s, and it was around for about a year, and people hated it, so they threw it away.
Did it taste different, or...?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I think it was more like Pepsi.
Oh. Well, did you know they brought new Coke back after
Yes.
Stranger Things?
Because people wanted to try it. I saw that.
I saw it in Walmart, and I was like...
Oh, man.
Understand. And, like, I didn't get it. Now I get it. I didn't get it at first, though.
But, as enjoyable as it is, it really, and I get it's cool that it's the 80s and stuff, but especially this season, it basically just shoves nostalgia down your throat until you choke to death on it.
Yeah,
and that is most prevalent. And I knew you would. And I have to agree for the most part. However, it got out of hand in the last episode with the never-ending story song.
That was the best moment of the entire season. That was the best moment of the entire season.
Joe!
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my god.
When that happened, I was like, yes! I was cheering.
Okay.
That was the best moment.
No offense, but that was the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Dude,
they just sang the whole song. That was awful.
It wasn't the whole song. It was like...
It was more of the song than there needed to be. And I know that Gavin Matazzaro, however you say his last name, is a very good singer. He's a talented dude.
He was on Broadway.
Yeah, and at least I hope that they weren't just like, let's, his agent or somebody was just like, let's just put that in there to showcase Gavin's talent.
Such a good moment.
And it was they sang it very well.
Yeah.
And I felt the well up in my chest, but I stepped back and I was like, this is so fucking stupid. They take a break for 2 minutes to just sing this song.
It is stupid.
It's very stupid.
But it's great.
No, it's not. That was the worst. That was the worst. I hated that.
No, but they were self-aware of how... Not self-aware. They weren't self-aware. I'm saying...
Yeah.
The characters... Even the characters in it were like, this is so fucking stupid. And that's why I thought it was great.
I disagree.
They were like,
I disagree.
Dude, literally,
I don't think that...
Ryder was fucking banging her head on the wall. Hopper was like, what the fuck is this? Everyone was pissed.
I think that's just an annoyance. I don't think that that's anything more than that. I don't...
I thought it was great.
Dude,
when that happened, I was like, this is awesome.
That was awful.
Awesome.
That was so terrible.
I can't believe you hated that.
Oh, sing the song, Dusty or whatever she called him.
And then he was like, I can't do that.
Which obviously I know. I thought it was just like,
dude,
they put it.
So good.
Thought it was just. I don't know. I thought that was awful. That was awful. If I ever watch that season again, I'm gonna skip through that part.
That part is so good.
Because I hate that so much.
I can't believe you hate it.
I'm surprised that you didn't realize that I would, honestly. It was so awful. It was the absolute worst.
We're talking about this part too much, but...
Yeah, but I mean, I'm very passionate about it.
Jesus. Okay. I mean, we don't have a time limit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, man, I don't know. I love that part. I really did. That's all I can say. I guess we shouldn't argue about it anymore, but I love that part. I think it was so fun. It just was so, yes.
I could not disagree more. That was the worst.
I thought it was such a good moment.
It was awful.
Anyways,
yeah.
Anyways, what's it called? So that was that.
Yep.
Also, while we're on things we disagree on, the Will scene where he breaks the fortress.
Yeah.
I know you think it was overacting.
No, I don't know about that. Not that part.
Oh, what part were you talking about?
The part where he's still in the garage. with Mike.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the part when he breaks his.
No, that was
a great scene.
It absolutely was.
Oh,
I completely agree about.
We were talking about a completely different thing before then. I thought we were on the same page and we were talking about the same
because that was such a great moment of symbolism.
Agreed.
That I can appreciate.
That's why I was like so surprised. I was like, how could you not like that scene? I thought it was a great scene. Okay, great. Yeah, that scene's awesome. Okay, fantastic.
Yep. So that's Stranger Things season 3. What'd you give it, Joe? A 9?
Yeah, I gave it a 9.
I gave it an 8.
Okay. I gotta talk about Billy.
Oh, okay. Let's go for it.
There's 2 things with Billy. I already talked about how much I loved him this season, and
he was excellent.
I'm really sad he's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
Mm-hmm.
he got stabbed.
He's not hoppering it.
He got Julius Caesared. Like, he's done.
Yeah, that was tough, man.
But can I say, what a great arc that whole thing was. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tremendous.
First of all, like, he was obviously, like, a bad guy the whole season until the end. But, like, the way he, like, saved Eleven and his sister, like, wow. Like, that was just such a power... I don't know, like, he just...
No, that was a very well done moment.
It was like, oh my god, like, even it makes you feel bad for him, like, cause...
Yeah, I know. I felt bad for him the whole season, because I was kind of like, there's only one way this can end for Billy.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, because he was so great.
People, like, you can't
I know. That was so crazy.
Man, when he... I loved, as much as I loved that moment, as much as I loved his character this season, I gotta say, my friend Pete, he brought up a good point, and I was like, you know what, I didn't realize that until you said something, but that makes sense, and that is funny. He mentioned how he thinks it's really, he thought it was really stupid, and, like, not realistic isn't the best way to put it, but he was like, I just thought it was really cheesy and dumb how Eleven literally said, there was a word Eleven said, oh my god, I can't remember.
It was something about the beach, right?
Yeah, she said one word, and all of a sudden he was out of it.
Yeah.
And he was like, that was stupid. Like, that was just a little too, like...
I almost agree, but... Yeah. You know, when Eleven sort of went into his subconscious, when they kind of had that connection,
that was a great scene.
I feel like there was a reason that his subconscious showed her that scene because his subconscious knew that that's the only thing that was going to be able to pull him out. So when that happened, if that had just happened, if she had seen that in a different way, like if they had gone into Billy's room and there had been like a picture of Billy's mom and stuff, and they had just kind of seen it and then she said something about that, that would have been pretty lame, I think. But I think because I really did feel like it was his subconscious sending her a message in that moment, so I think that worked.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's pretty great. I do like that.
So I think it still worked.
It did actually. That was a last thing I really wanted to bring up, because we talked about the Hopper death. We didn't talk about this. The scene when Eleven reads the letter, that's honestly, I wasn't crying until that happened. When that happened, I lost it. I was like, fuck, man. And even though I was like, Hopper's still probably alive, they think he's dead.
Exactly.
And dude, when he, like, I didn't realize, like, he wrote a whole thing. Yep. And when they, like, read it out, and, oh, man, and they, like, play, like, them moving out over it, and, man, that was crazy.
That was really nice.
They made a song the song at the very end of the show is an original song made for the show.
Ah.
And, I can't remember who did it, but, it's an original, it's made for the show, and, man, what a beautiful song to send it off. Wow. It was just great. I loved it. I think it was a great end. I love the action scene. The last 2 episodes, the action scene at the mall, the fight at the mall, amazing.
That was so cool.
The fireworks were great. Like, that part looked amazing.
That was really cool. Very much.
The Jurassic Park, like, scene, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not even talking about Steve and... there's so much to talk about. I'm sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
Steve and
Robin.
Robin, amazing. Yeah. Wow. What an when they were on drugs, what an amazing I love that scene. A lot of people loved the new guy who died, and I was sad when he died. The Alex guy.
Oh, Alexi?
A lot of people were.
I know, a lot of people seem to really like Alexi.
I liked it. A lot of people, way more than I thought. I liked him.
Me too.
He was good. I thought he was really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing I didn't care for this season, and it was kind of stupid. I don't know. I thought it was too stupid, and it was like really stereotypical, even for Stranger Things. The Terminator guy. I don't know. They could have just done something better, or at least made him more they could have made him more three-dimensional.
Okay.
He just, he was just there to just cause a problem all the time, and that was it. And I don't know. I just wish he was more fleshed out, I guess. He just, like...
I guess so. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty true to the character that they were trying to go for, though.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways... I loved it, and it was great.
Yeah.
And wow, what a great end to a story. And maybe a full end, maybe not. Hopefully they go back to the whole Hopper thing, really. But
they definitely they have to. If it comes back,
they have to.
It's gonna be.
I think it's gonna take another long break, though. I think it's gonna be in at least another 2 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's all right.
Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah, I think that's enough about Stranger Things.
Yeah, I would say so. Let's move into Spider-Man, huh?
Yeah.
Spider-Man, the final movie in phase...
Before we...
Oh my gosh, another thing?
No, well, I wanted to talk about Marvel before.
Oh yeah, okay, because Comic-Con, obviously, a lot of stuff went down.
Just happened. And I wanted to talk about the panel that they had. They announced so many different things. We're not going to get into everything, but they announced a bunch of new shows, and...
I know. The shows, I think, are going to be really cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Disney Plus, yeah. That's definitely another reason to get Disney Plus.
I know.
Along with that and the Star Wars stuff. But anyways, the movies they announced, I just wanted to touch on a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
The Thor one, big surprise.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, they're bringing Thor back, and Waititi is confirmed directing it.
Which is, I feel like that's a very safe bet on Marvel's part.
Great. Oh, I think it's great. And apparently Natalie Portman is going to be Thor in...
Yeah, a couple of years ago, Jane Foster became Thor in some of the comic books, and I'm just surprised that she came back because I feel like...
she got a lot of hate.
Well, I feel like she left... on her own because those first two Thor movies are some of the worst that the MCU has ever put out. Like, they're pretty bad. Yeah. As much as Kenneth Branagh is the man and stuff, like, those movies kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And the third one was just just blew everybody out of the water.
Yeah. The third one was great.
So, I mean, I think that they're going to reintroduce her in a very cool way, but
they have to.
It's interesting. I'm
excited
it's interesting.
For Thor to get back out there in the love world.
Oh, boy.
Ready.
You think they're going to get together again?
It's called Love, and the title's literally...
Yeah, but you never know who it's going to be.
Love and something else?
Love and something.
I'll look it up.
But
anyways, also, big surprise, Blade.
I know.
Blade?
With Mahershala Ali. That's going to be sick.
Dude.
He's the only guy that could have picked to do that again, to remake those movies.
Amazing. Dude... It only sucks because they're not going to make it rated R. That's the only thing that's going to suck. I mean, they could make it rated R, but I doubt they will.
Yeah.
But if that movie was rated R, oh, wow.
It'd be crazy.
Next movie, Doctor Strange.
And it's going to be a horror movie. I was so excited.
Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse.
What an incredible title. Wow. That's the one I'm most excited for. Wow. Even with the fact they said the What If animated series, I think that's going to be really cool.
And what's his name is narrating it? Guy from Westworld.
Anthony Hopkins?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the narrator. He's the guy who like sees everything.
Right.
The overseer or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
I gotta...
That's gonna be cool. But I think Doctor Strange still, even with they said they announced Fantastic Four. This was after the fact. Yep. This wasn't on the big screen that had all the movies, the timeline. This wasn't on the big timeline, but they confirmed that they are gonna do a Fantastic Four project. Thank God.
And Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and obviously Spider-Man 3, and obviously Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
Those are the ones they didn't talk about, but like they're gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
So I actually have I have the name. It's called Thor: Love and Thunder. I love that name. I also think the title is really cool. It's like 80s. I love it.
Yeah, it looks like He-Man.
Yeah. Oh, it's called Yeah, it does. It's called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
That's gonna be
what it's
crazy.
Called. Then
it's gonna
there's...
that movie's gonna be. That's the one I'm still most excited for, even with all that other stuff.
Same. Then there's Black Widow, which okay, a lot of people are pumped for that one. I think it's gonna be good because Scarlett Johansson's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gonna be a good movie. I don't see the point because it's prequel and I don't know. I think it's a filler Marvel movie if I'm being honest.
I have to agree. It's going to be really cool to see more of Black Widow's backstory and stuff, especially because they referenced it a fair amount in the earlier
in Age of Ultron
movies. Age of Ultron, even in Avengers, there were some little hints in there. So I'm glad we're finally getting to see that.
So that's true.
But at this point, it does feel a little moot, I should say.
Eternals, I have no idea what that is. We were talking about it before. We have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know very much about them, but I'm pretty sure that that's going to be some Adam Warlock stuff is going to be introduced in there. And I'm worried about that one because I don't know why, but Angelina Jolie starring in it makes me nervous about it. It's a cool cast. Kumail Nanjiani looks like he's going to be second build, and he's awesome.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that a weird cast for sure? It's I don't know. It's a little strange.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different, but I think it's gonna be cool, and I think that you know what, it'll probably end up being like a Guardians of the Galaxy type thing.
Shane, and then they did the Shang-Chi one, which I don't really know anything about.
I have no idea.
They're bringing what's his name? They're bringing the real Mandarin back, so that's gonna.
I know, thank God.
And and the one show I'm most excited for is Loki, easily. Okay. I think that's really all I want to say about that. But
now we can talk about Spider-Man. Spider-Man is back, far from home.
Wow.
It's summer vacation for Peter Parker and his pals. It sounds like I'm reading that off of something.
Yeah, it does.
but it is. It's summertime for Peter Parker, and all he wants to do, especially after the death of Tony Stark and everything that happened in Endgame, he just wants to relax. He's very conflicted about being a teenager and being a superhero. Which is, makes sense. Like, who wouldn't be? So he's going on a European vacation with his school and with his class, with his pals, and they run into a little trouble.
Oh,
it's supposed to be a nice little vacation, but it's hijacked by Nick Fury, and then, of course, the introduction of Mysterio, a hero from a different dimension. Played by Jake Gyllenhaal, who, very excited because that guy's a great actor, so who wouldn't be? And they have to fight these elementals and stuff like that, and it's really cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, there is one thing. We're gonna start with this movie. We're not gonna spoil this either. We're just gonna talk about it, and then we'll do a little spoiler talk after. Probably not as long as Stranger Things, just because there's not as much to talk about. I feel like because Stranger Things is
right.
Anyways, so with this movie. There's not a lot to talk. We can't give away too much of the plot because the trailers didn't give much of the plot away, which was great.
Yep.
I love that. So I guess we got to keep it pretty vague on that front. But I gotta say, Jake Gyllenhaal killed it.
Easy. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. You knew he was going to, and every interview that he's done about it, he's such a thoughtful actor. You know what I mean? He's really good.
Killed it, man.
It was perfect.
Wow. I love how he puts 110% in every single role he does, no matter what the role is.
Yep.
This is his first Marvel movie. I'm sure he was probably like, this is going to be stupid or... no.
I'm sure he was a little weary when they approached him about it.
Yeah.
Because, he does a lot. He does very diverse projects.
Yeah. And he put all of his effort into it.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. I really thought it was awesome. And yeah, he was great.
I loved just getting to see Spider-Man, honestly, in all those different locations.
Wow, yeah.
It was really cool. It was shot so well, especially the action scenes and all those different places.
Yeah, and
perfectly done.
Yep, and I really liked the pacing of this movie. A lot of people didn't like the pacing of this movie. That a lot of the criticism was because of the pacing of the movie. I disagree. I think it was very well paced.
That's a complete mistake because it takes a sharp turn, but that's not a pacing issue.
Yeah. No, well, the issue a lot of people have an issue with what the first half is focused on compared to the second half.
Okay.
And which I can't say, but I mean I probably could, but I'm not going to. Just
play it safe.
Yeah. But that's the main issue. We'll talk about it more in a little bit, but I didn't have an issue with that. I thought it was great. I loved the pacing of it. I just love Tom Holland so much. God,
yeah, he's
so good.
And you know what I absolutely loved about the last one was particularly the scene where he's stuck under all of those rocks.
Yeah.
In the first one, he brings such an emotional approach, and it's so subtle, and it's unbelievably well done. It's by far, even in Amazing Spider-Man 2
I was gonna
with
say,
Andrew Garfield, he has one particularly emotional scene.
Yeah.
Tom Holland does it so much better.
Really?
A million times. Because, if you haven't seen Amazing Spider-Man 2, you're not missing much, but I'm going to spoil the end.
There's one good scene in it.
Yeah, but,
one really good scene in it.
Gwen Stacy, when she dies and, Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker's holding her and she's like, stay with me.
It's rough, man.
Tom, I remember watching that scene in the theater and it's a great scene.
Yeah.
But
that's the one good thing about that movie.
But there's not that hint of subtlety that Tom Holland has in his performance that's just incredible. And that's what sets his Spider-Man, and even just in the Marvel Universe, his superhero aside from all the others.
Yeah, it really, I agree. I couldn't agree more. It was so cool. Zendaya stood out really well.
Absolutely. She was in it a lot more. And I've never really watched something that Zendaya started. Like, I didn't see that...
Shake It Up or whatever it was called.
Oh, that show?
The Disney show?
Yeah, Shake It Up.
I think it was Shake It Up? Yeah.
But, like, movies. I didn't see that Greatest Showman or anything.
Was good in that.
Yeah.
I liked her a lot in that.
But...
she has that new show on HBO.
Oh, that's right. Everybody's saying it's very good.
Yeah.
But she's a really good actress. Especially, I mean, she played this character so well. It was really great to watch.
And what they did with her character, I really loved.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love the way they're... oh my god. Honestly, the way they're taking her character is so much better than I think they used to... like, the typical way they do it.
Mm-hmm.
They did it back in the comics. Now I think... the comics stories have changed, and how she's portrayed has also changed.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day when she was first around... she was just not that, like, interesting, in my opinion. Now I think
I think a lot of people feel that way.
So now I think they just did a great job. And I mean, that just this whole new story, like, shows, like, the difference between the old Spider-Man and the new in this Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And the thing is they just did smart updates to all the characters. Like, there's no, like, meathead. There's not really such thing as a meathead bully.
Jock kind of bully like that.
They made Flash Thompson just a prick prep.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like,
could not be more different, but...
it was great.
But really...
great. He's not in it a lot, but he's great.
Oh, yeah, no, I completely agree. Tony Revolori.
Yeah,
he's a good actor. I like him. I liked Dope a lot, so he's good.
And the best thing about Flash Thompson is always the fact that, like, Spider-Man, like, he loves Spider-Man, but he hates Peter Parker, so it's just, like...
it's great to watch.
It's just so funny. Anyways, that's off topic. But anyways, it's, so yeah, that's what I loved about it. And honestly, what I disliked about it, I don't really have anything that I can think of off the top of my head that I really didn't like. I thought it was... that I can talk about at least. I don't know. I don't think there was anything I really didn't like. I think everything was done super well. And
it felt a lot more like an ensemble, kind of, especially than the first one.
Yes.
Like, this was, although I will say, as much as Ned was in it, Ned Leeds, of course, played by Jacob Batalon, who... awesome. So funny in the first one. Funny in this one.
Yes.
I could always use more Ned. So that's not a real complaint, but I wish he'd been in it more.
Yeah, I was really surprised what they did with his character this one. It makes sense.
It was a little
why they did
different,
it,
but it was cool.
but yeah, it was cool. And yeah, I just there was one other thing I wanted to say. It was just about the I can't. The way it leads in right from Endgame to here, great, amazing.
Yeah, talking about the blip, which is what they refer to
you
that
can literally watch
instance
it back to
as.
back. It's like, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when they take Rogue One and Star Wars.
Right.
A New Hope.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. They did that. Anyways, yeah, that's all I gotta say about it, honestly, without spoiling anything.
Yeah,
so.
the effects were awesome.
Oh,
the
God.
Mysterio scenes could not have been done better.
Yeah. You know one thing?
I mean, as far as his powers are concerned, they
so cool.
showed that in such a spectacular way, and they nailed it.
It was amazing. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Wow. That brings up one thing that I could say they could have done better. I think they could have done. I think cinematography-wise, I think when you're in such a grand landscape as you are in Europe, and the big spots they were in, I think they could have shot it a little bit.
I think you're right. I have to agree.
I think they could have just... They could have.
As much as, the action scenes were very cool in those locations, they almost underutilized just the, visual beauty of those places.
Yes, exactly. I agree. So that's the one downside I'd say I have of this film. Or at least the glaring one that, to me. What would you rate this movie?
I would have to give it 7.5.
Wow.
I think that's fair.
That's crazy. Wait, did you like... Well, okay, I'll rate it and then I'll ask this question.
Okay.
So, I'm going to give it... Wow. I have to give it at least... I have to give it... I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. The
Okay.
reason why is I'm going to... Well, this leads into my next question. I want to... If you were to rate all the Spider-Man movies, not rate them, like, number-wise, but if you had to put them in order, worst to best, how would you do it?
Oh, man. All of them.
Yeah. Like all of them.
Okay, probably worst, Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Even worse than Amazing Spider-Man
Wow,
2, which
that's
is
crazy.
next. Just
Okay.
because, Topher Grace's Eddie Brock was a travesty, and I hated the stuff with the Sandman.
Okay.
So let's see. Yeah, so then probably... So Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then I guess Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Yep.
And then this is where it gets tough.
Yep,
This is where it gets very tough.
exactly where it gets tough.
I probably have to put Spider-Man Homecoming.
Wow, okay.
Or actually, maybe I want to.
I'm glad I
Oh
didn't
God,
say
this
my
is so
list
tough.
first. I think if I said my list first, it might have made you say certain things. I'm glad I get to hear it.
You know what? Oh man, this is so tough
is
because
off the cuff,
I was not prepared.
thought of
But okay, I'll stick. Yeah, Homecoming,
Great.
Far From Home,
Great.
Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1.
Wow.
And I like Spider-Man
crazy.
1 more than Spider-Man 2,
That's
which
crazy.
2 may be the better movie. The one thing that I really don't like about it is because, that and the original Fantastic Four movies, the second one of that, Silver Surfer, which obviously was terrible, big chunk of that movie was the Fantastic Four losing their powers. Big chunk of Spider-Man 2. Not a big chunk, but a fair chunk was Spider-Man losing his powers. And I just hate to see that. But also, Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin in Spider-Man 1, unbelievable. That movie is still one of the best comic book movies ever made.
Yeah, okay, I agree. Okay, so, this is my list. Very different.
Okay.
Well, not very... It's pretty different, actually. So, I actually thought about this a lot the other day. That's why I kind of already have it. So, for me, it's Amazing Spider-Man 2, worst to best. Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, just because there are moments in Spider-Man 3 that I, like, I don't know. I just think I can watch Spider-Man 3 and hate it less than Amazing Spider-Man 2. Also, I think the dancing scene's so fucking funny. Anyways, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man, just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, this is where it gets tough for me. Because Spider-Man Far From Home and Spider-Man 2 are honestly, I think, tied for me.
Okay.
The thing... Right now, I'd say Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh. Whoa.
Now, this is the thing. I haven't seen Spider-Man 2 in years. A long time. So I can't say which is... I can't really say which I think is the better movie. But just from my memory right now, I'd have to say Spider-Man Far From Home is my favorite. But it might also be Spider-Man 2. They're both really good. They're both amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, the list doesn't matter past Amazing Spider-Man. Like, after that, they're all great.
Right.
So, but anyways, that's my list. I really think this is the best Spider-Man movie for me right now. I loved it.
Because I know how much you love 2, so that's pretty crazy. Even though you haven't seen it in a while.
2 is amazing.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, if I could make them tied, that's what I would do.
Right.
They're amazing. They're both great. But yeah, that's why I was surprised you rated Far From Home 7.5. That's why I wanted to know where it is. So,
I mean, it is excellent, but...
Yeah. Okay, that's...
Yeah, should we do a spoiler section for this, or should we just... There's only one...
I just wanted to... Yeah, it'll be really short, so...
Okay.
Spoiler alert, but this is not going to be as long as Stranger Things.
Not nearly.
No.
If you want to skip the spoilers for Spider-Man Far From Home, then go to 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 32 seconds. That is 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 32 seconds. You've been warned.
So, dude... J.K. Simmons. J. Jonah Jameson.
That changed my life.
He's back. Wow. What the fuck?
That was one of the greatest experiences I've had in a theater in such a long time. Because they said his name, and I was like, oh, I wonder who is probably just going to be some random, regular guy.
Wow.
And then it's J.K. Simmons reprising the role that he killed so perfectly in Sam Raimi's trilogy. And, I mean, I almost started jumping up and down. It was so great to see.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. It was crazy. And I'm really curious what they're going to do with his, character. I really don't know what they're going to do.
Who knows? Maybe they don't have to do anything, I don't
that's
think.
What I'm saying. I don't even know the way they ended this movie, where they're going to bring
I don't know,
the next movie.
something crazy.
Peter Parker's fucked. He is fucked.
I don't know what's going to happen.
He's fucked. That's it.
I know.
It's over. I don't know what he's going to do. I wanted to talk about a few... So that's the end. That's my thoughts on the end.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few other things I really wanted to talk about that I couldn't talk about before. Specifically with a lot of people's issue with the first part of this movie. Which people say the first half of this movie is slow and boring because it's all about just Peter Parker trying to get Zendaya. But dude, the whole point of this movie is he's trying to be normal.
Yes.
He wants a break. He fucking he blipped, then came right back and fought Thanos.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Give the kid a break.
It doesn't, I don't know. I mean, it almost reminds me of what we were talking about with Stranger Things. Things don't need to explode for it to be compelling. Especially when you have actors of that caliber.
Yeah, and there was still action in the first half, too. And a big thing I think a lot of people were upset about, too, with the first half, is everyone who knows who Mysterio is saw the twist coming.
Oh, yeah. I think it was pretty obvious.
But I don't think that was a downside. I knew the twist was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know when it was coming. And also, people were like, wow, Jake Gyllenhaal was a bad actor in the first part of the movie. He just, he was just, because of how he was, obviously, super nice.
Yeah.
But he was, people who say that, do you not understand, the point, of the character he was doing?
I thought he played it perfectly.
He was obviously hamming it up. He wasn't actually nice.
Yeah.
What? I don't know, man. It just went up. I just can't believe what some people were saying. But anyways, that's beside the point.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was great. I thought everything they did with him before the twist was great.
Yeah.
I thought when they revealed the twist, it was great. Even though I knew the twist was coming, the way they revealed it was amazing.
Yeah, I didn't expect it in that moment.
Oh no, I didn't.
It was very cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew, that is insane. I love that. I also loved the best parts of the entire movie were the scenes with they were like scarecrow scenes, like
Oh, yeah. But
dude,
it's almost like saying if an acid trip could take an acid trip.
I didn't think they could impress me more
Nope.
than the Doctor Strange action scenes. No, this impressed me more.
It was crazy.
Was insane. I would just
watch those scenes.
I was like, dude, this is awesome.
It was so cool.
Oh my god, when you think it's over and it's not, oh, dude.
That was great.
It's crazy. Oh my god, I literally was screaming when it was happening, internally. It was awesome.
Last thing I want to say is just the post-credit scenes are very exciting because what the post-credit scenes in this one did that no other post-credit scenes have done is, I don't think I'm alone in this, they make you want to rewatch the movie immediately.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only time a post-credit scene, you see the post-credits and then you're like, play it back, rewatch the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's really cool that they could do that.
They had to bring the shapeshifters in. What are they called?
Skrulls.
They had to bring them in somehow.
Yeah.
They had to, and I'm glad they did.
Yep,
they
me too.
had to after Captain Marvel. I'm glad they did. That's crazy. I loved it.
Yep, excellent movie.
Yeah, there was, oh man, I thought there was one more thing, but maybe not. There's something I'm forgetting that I really liked. Zendaya knowing that he was Spider-Man. I love that. I love that whole scene. I loved her in this movie, man.
She was really good.
Also, I don't know if Jake Gyllenhaal's dead. I hope he's not. If he is actually dead.
I don't know.
I hope there's a way they can bring him back somehow. People were saying, actually, a theory I thought of that would be cool. I think it'd be really cool if, you know how he downloads that USB drive?
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be really cool. You know how they brought back... This is the best example I can give. Remember how they brought back in Winter Soldier the German guy? He was in the computer. I wonder if they could just make Gyllenhaal just
a simulation, like an AI simulation.
If they could bring him back just like that.
I don't know if they did it the right way, I guess, but that's kind of a tough area.
They recorded a bunch of his lines and shit. I feel like they might be able to do that. I don't know.
It's tough.
Yeah, I know. That also brings me to the point where I really wish they brought back. I really wish they announced something for the Sinister Six at the panel. I was very surprised.
Yeah, but they're keeping it low key.
Yeah,
it's cool.
They might bring some. They still might announce something. Like they said, they have more stuff.
Sure, you got the D whatever it is.
That's what
That's coming up. So
that's what they say they're saving stuff for. I really hope the next Spider-Man movie has something to do with the Sinister Six. Man, that'd be so cool.
I think that it'd be just great to see that.
The first movie, they should.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think that's all I gotta say about it. Amazing. I can't wait to see where it's the only Spider-Man movie that's made me so excited to see the next one. I've never been more excited to see a Spider-Man movie next. I can't wait.
I don't know the whole universe. I don't know what they're gonna do next, but
I don't know.
I'm excited for it.
Wow. And also, last thing, we didn't mention Into the Spider-Verse in our lists, which we should have done. Into the Spider-Verse, I feel like people would be like, why didn't they mention Into the Spider-Verse? So I'm going to say it. Into the Spider-Verse, I would have to put... That makes it even harder.
I don't know. I'm not going to try and put it in my list somewhere. I'm just going to say it's probably top 3.
Okay. You know what? I would put it under Spider-Man 2 still.
Okay.
So it would be the third. It would be my third best. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know where it would fall, but it's up there because it's excellent movie. Everything about that.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, thank God.
So
that was Spider-Man Far From Home.
Great.
And what do we got next?
Next is
Yesterday.
Ellie bought you a present. All my troubles seem so far away. Now it seems as though they're here to stay.
This is one that we didn't talk about at all, really, beforehand. Which
I just saw it today, so
which I'm happy about. So now we get some fresh discussion here.
So this one, the trailer blew up a couple months ago, and it blew up so much that it got a much wider release than it was originally going to have, and people got very excited about it. If you don't know, it's about kind of a what if. It's a what if movie.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, what if the Beatles never existed? The most famous band of all time. What if they never existed? So what happens is the struggling songwriter Jack Malik, played by Hamish Patel.
Yeah, never seen him before.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a worldwide blackout, worldwide power outage.
Yeah.
A little strange. And during that, he gets hit by a bus, and when he wakes up, he's the only one that remembers the band The Beatles. So he decides to take all of their songs that he can remember and pass them off as his own because they've never been written before in this universe.
Yeah.
And so he becomes like the most famous singer-songwriter in the world. And very, I don't know, Joe, what do you think about this movie? What are your initial thoughts?
I was excited going into it.
Yeah, very much so.
I was excited.
Because I think the most exciting thing when you are first going into this movie is the premise,
It's a cool
obviously.
premise. It's
Very
a
cool.
Premise. And that's the issue with these movies out of the gate is when you have you can have I think the way these movies often fail is they have a great premise but they don't have great execution.
Yeah.
Now this movie I'd actually say has a pretty good execution. I think it could have been done better, but I think it was pretty solid. So I have issues with this movie for sure. I really do.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say though, cinematography for this movie was surprisingly good.
I agree. There were a lot of
surprised.
Oh my gosh, there's
good
one shot at the
shots.
end of what's her name, Lily Evans? Yeah. Or Lily James. Lily Evans, that's Harry Potter's mom. There's this one shot of Lily James at the end that is literally like 1 second, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember.
There's a lot of very nice compositions,
dude,
Rule
there's-
Threes, but the one
really
thing
are.
is
I think
the
you're
Dutch
gonna say-
tilts.
Dude, I literally have that in my
Out of
fucking
control.
notes. Yeah, why?
Unbelievable.
Why were there just?
I mean,
I saw that. I was like, the first time they did it, I was like, that's a weird Dutch.
It was
tilt.
almost, the frame was almost sideways.
I was like-
It was really,
And you know what?
it's kind of like raining in.
I was like, maybe it'll have like a point. There was no point.
Well, I mean,
I didn't
it
see
made
a
sense
point.
for some scenes,
For
but
some of them, but the first
not
one,
so drastically
Yeah, and the
as
first
that.
one, I
Like,
did
you
not see a point
rein it
to
in,
if I'm
rein
being
it in.
honest.
But they kind of, I was surprised at how quickly they got to, because this is a long movie. I would say it's a little long.
Yeah,
It's basically, it's
I think
almost
the
2
pacing-
hours.
Yeah.
It dips in the middle.
Yep.
It definitely dips in the
think
middle.
pacing
It
was
speeds
a
up at the
little-
end.
A little slow.
But I don't know. They really that power outage takes place in the first 10 minutes
yeah.
before 10 minutes is even up.
Yeah,
It-
which is
boom.
it's just the middle takes a lot of time.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. And they did a good job getting right into it. I loved how they got right into
I
it.
kind of liked it
I thought that
too.
was great.
I really
Because they know.
I think
they know what
because
wanna
we
see.
were yes, but I think because we were really focusing on, especially at the beginning, not a lot of characters, basically 2 characters.
Yeah.
Because we were only focused on them, their development didn't feel rushed.
Yeah.
At that point.
I also want to say I really liked their characters. I mean,
Me too.
I really liked their chemistry. Like, man, and can I say a lot of people didn't like they thought the love story was kind of phoned in this movie, and I could see it. Like, it's a very almost. You've seen this movie before, at least romantic wise. You've seen the romantic movie before. It follows the same beats, but they actually took it they actually ended it in a way I didn't think they were going to end it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But anyways, my main issue with this movie is the pacing, and I think there's 2 reasons why this pacing is not great, especially in the middle. One reason, Kate, what's her name?
Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon, hated her. I thought she was awful.
That character is just awful.
Character, I don't think she's a bad actor.
No,
Character
she's
was
not.
awful.
I was so disappointed
Wow.
because I like her.
Man, I've never seen more of an exaggeration of a character ever.
And you know what? It was
Wow.
just so in your face. Like she,
Yeah.
she plays
That
this.
was the issue.
She plays the agent, the music agent.
my God,
Once
so
Jack
in your
Mal gets
face.
famous, and there was,
What?
like obviously we get that. I'm sure in real life I have no idea, but often as they're portrayed, anybody in the record business is kind of, scummy. But she was basically saying to everybody's faces like, I'm a piece of shit. And as far as like record business goes, and that drove me crazy.
Man, it bothered me so much. I disliked it a lot. I really did not like her character in this movie. I wish I
You
did.
hate to say it, I know, but
I really wish I did.
and I really don't think that it was her fault. But God, her character was just the worst. It was so
Yep.
dumb.
Yep, I agree.
While we're on characters, though, I gotta say, it definitely wouldn't. You can't have a British movie without at least one thin, pale, quirky guy, and that was Gavin.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
I liked him.
I liked him too. I'm not saying I dislike it.
What'd you
I'm
think
just
of
it's
Ed Sheeran?
funny.
I actually...
Oh, I liked him.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow. I actually kind of didn't like him, but I did.
Oh, really?
I thought they used him too much in the movie. In my opinion, he was too big of a part in the movie. I don't know. It was weird. Like, I just think...
Okay. I guess I get that, but
I don't know.
I really like the way his character was written, and obviously he just has to like play himself to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But even
He was
then,
better-
I thought he did a good
He
job.
was better than King. Kate McKinnon was really the only part I really disliked. Like every time.
Yeah,
she was on
you hate to
screen,
say
I
it, but
hated
it's
it.
true.
She just brought the movie down, and it sucks, but it did.
And it's kind of interesting to criticize this movie,
Yeah.
and it's from certain angles because
Yeah.
it's a movie, and I'm sure a lot of people could guess if you haven't seen it, that relies so heavily on that famous catalog of the Beatles.
Yeah.
So there are some parts where you're like, am I really enjoying this movie as much as I think I am, or is
Yeah.
it just because these songs are so damn good?
Exactly. He does a good job singing them. He's singing them. Jack, the main character, the actor, is actually singing the songs.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
I think that's him. I'm pretty sure.
Sounds like them.
It does.
Otherwise, they did a great job mixing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it's him, but it might not be. Don't quote me, but whatever. I think it might be him. Anyways, what'd you think of the random text appearing out of nowhere?
Yeah, so I
don't know if that's not a spoiler. No one's gonna care.
No.
Yeah.
I liked the word graphics when they were up, but
Yeah.
the movie went from basically not using them whatsoever to using them all the time, like literally every second. There was like some, and I would also say there were some very surprising surrealist scenes, especially concerning the one social media one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Where he's kind of surrounded.
Yeah, it went.
Which I liked, but it was
like
kind of a weird place to put it.
It was like they took inspiration from Across the Universe. Did you get that vibe? I did too.
That's a good point. Good way to put it.
One other thing that happened that was crazy was, I don't know if you felt this, but it was extremely awkward at points. Like, it was hard to watch at some points. I don't know if you felt that. Like,
I really didn't. I don't know. Maybe that's just sort of a British sensibility.
Okay.
Coming through.
Man, I felt so like I was like, oh, like I was cringing so hard at some parts, and I think they wanted you to do that.
I'm
Man,
sure.
It was rough. Also, the end of this movie I thought was really well done. Like the end scene, I was very nervous. I was so like.
I didn't know how it was gonna end.
I was like, oh my! I was like, oh, please don't like. You know,
Yeah.
it was like, it was like, you just want it to work out. You know, so that was really well done. That's really all I gotta say about it, though.
Yeah, just a super interesting premise, and I think really worth a watch, regardless of if this movie actually is just built on, the great songs from the Beatles.
Yeah.
Still worth a watch because I found it, fairly emotional as well and entertaining.
Yeah, it was pretty emotional.
Yeah, they did a good job, and I also liked Joel Fry as Rocky, comic relief. I thought that they didn't necessarily overuse him. I could see it maybe a little, but
I thought he was.
I liked
to
him.
be, but he wasn't.
Yeah,
so.
I thought they ended up balancing it pretty well. But I did like him a lot, so that was good.
So, what would you rate this?
This is tough.
It is
been going back and forth, but I decided to give it the higher, and I'm going to give it a 7.
Oh, wow. I think you're going between a 6.5 and a 7,
Yeah.
weren't you? I'm
Yeah.
doing the same thing. I have it written down right here. I'm going to give it... I was going to give it a 6.5, but I might give it a 7, too, because it's enjoyable. It's not... It's pretty enjoyable.
It really was, but it was just too long.
And, dude, I just can't... I can't say enough how much the manager killed it for me. I wish it didn't.
I know.
It was
You hate
too
to
much.
say that
It
about
was
Kate
too much.
McKinnon, because you know she can bring it, but
It
that was
too
just
much.
rough.
Yep. Anyways, so I'll give it a 7. I'll give it 7
Oh, okay.
juice boxes. I'll give it 7.
7 juice boxes. I think that's fair. Well, anyways,
We got one
let's
more
move on
for
to
you.
our throwback. We're keeping the throwbacks from the television show that we used to do. And to start off, because of course it's summertime, we're going to do one of my favorite movies as a kid, summer camp movie, Heavyweights,
Yeah.
1994
I've never
or
seen
95.
Can you smell it?
What? No.
There's a life force in here tonight.
I never saw this movie before. You suggested it.
Yeah.
And going into it, I was very surprised you picked this movie. But, and I don't know, I just never heard of it before, but I saw the cast, and, I mean, Kenan Thompson as a kid is in it, Ben Stiller is in it. Those are, like, the two main... There's another guy, that other guy is pretty big, the camp counselor, the nice camp counselor guy.
Oh, the guy who plays Pat?
Yeah. What's his name? He's big.
Tom McGowan. Yeah, he did a lot of TV stuff.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I don't know where to start with this movie. It was great.
Yeah.
So should we introduce it? I guess. Yeah, we should probably.
Yeah,
introduce
so
it.
basically it's about I would say it's an ensemble, but it really focuses more on this kid Jerry,
Yes.
who his parents send him to a fat camp for the summer, and he thinks it's going to be the worst thing ever, as anyone would. But then he meets Kenan Thompson, who's also going to the camp on his way there, and they become friends, and he kind of gets introduced to all the other kids going to the camp. They all get on this bus together, and they say it's the best, and we can sneak in all this food, so all we do is really just have a good time, and there's not even the fat camp part of it. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
They show up, and they have this, which I will let this go because it's a kids movie. But anyways, they have this, the owners of the camp have this big meeting. The owners being played by Ben Stiller's actual parents, Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira, and turns out that they made some dicey financial decisions and they're no longer the owners of the camp.
Yep.
They had to sell it to Ben Stiller's character, Tony Perkis Jr., who's this health nut. He just wants to make the camp into this big infomercial so that he can make money selling some kind of weight loss video.
Yes.
And he treats he treats it like a dictator. He's got basically the character Lars, this big German fellow, is basically the leader of his Gestapo, and so what ends up happening is after the kids are treated so bad, they revolt and take over the camp from Ben Stiller's character. And I didn't realize that it was a Disney movie. I forgot it was a Disney movie. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
It was
You
a
know
Disney
what?
movie.
God, I can tell now because. Let me start off by saying this. This is as 90s as it gets.
Pretty 90s. Pretty 90s.
Man, wow. The intro of this movie is the most 90s I've ever seen. I love how they get right into it, but man, it is 90s.
There's nothing I like better than a movie or a television show that opens with school is out for the summer and the kids are just throwing papers in the hallways and stuff,
Like,
which is
what?
crazy.
It's so funny. And I guess I can also say they I don't know, it's just really what am I trying to say? I'm gonna cut that part out. I also wanted to say in the beginning of the movie I was waiting for the twist to come. The twist came like a little later than I thought it was going to, because I it's a very predictable movie. You know, like
Sure.
how it's gonna go. But I mean, I'm not looking for something smart with this movie. Obviously, not like this is a fun movie. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it's meant to be. It doesn't have to be anything more.
So, I was waiting for the twist, and it takes like a good amount of time for Ben Stiller. Not a good amount of time. He's in most of the movie, but it takes more time than I thought they were going to for him to come in. I thought.
Oh, really?
I thought right when they get to the camp, Ben Stiller was going to be running the show.
Oh.
I thought that's how it was going to go.
Here's what gets me about that. So, the first counselor that we meet who goes on the bus with all the kids is Pat.
He's great.
He's such a great character, and especially, you know,
God.
I mean, they even kind of look alike, he and Jerry.
Yeah.
Just that, you know, they kind of mirror each other in a way. And it's just, it's really nice.
Man, that go-kart scene is so... Man,
so he's the first counselor we meet, and then we're introduced to, like, the two other ones. And when the owners come out and reveal that they no longer own the camp, they're as surprised as anybody. The counselors, I mean.
Yeah.
And that... How would they not know? Like, they work at this camp.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. But... Yeah, that character was great. I loved him.
Yeah.
He was just really sweet dude, and you could tell. I thought he was gonna like, at first, like before I knew the twist, I thought he was gonna be in on it, and he wasn't, and he was just a sweet dude, and he was cool. I loved the go-kart scene, man. If I didn't just wake up when I watched the movie, I probably would have like if I was like already up and stuff, I probably would have like been a little teary-eyed at that. That scene was.
It was
touching.
really nice.
It's a really touching scene.
Because you almost feel like a lot of stuff that Pat does with Jerry, and it's interesting how much they learn from each other, not just Jerry learning from Pat.
Exactly.
Like there really is a back and forth between them.
Wasn't it the part? Because like I mean, he was like so scared to even get the girl.
Yeah.
And when I'm so glad they got together. It was. I mean, and it's so stereotypical. Like I get it. Like it's a very stereotypical. And they follow a lot of stereotypes, but it's 90s and it's fun.
It's 90s and it's fun. That should be the tagline.
Yeah. And it worked, and I don't know, it just worked with the movie. And she was great, the nurse character was great.
There's a lot of physical comedy in this movie, which I think, of course, lends to it being a movie for kids. But and you know what? Not all of it is poorly done. Some of it is very Stooges-esque.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
You know, but there is a lot of it. There is a lot of physical comedy.
Dude, it's 90s. You gotta get.
It's 90s. It's fun.
I gotta tell you my favorite character in the world. My boy Josh.
Oh boy,
Josh.
Sean Wise, who of course famous from the Mighty Ducks. He plays the goalie in the Mighty Ducks, and this is another big movie that he was in.
Zane. Wow. My favorite character, easily.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be.
He's so good. Dude,
he's cool. He's funny.
Dude, he's like.
Oh my gosh.
He's a mafioso, dude.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Unfortunately, I don't know. Sean, the actor, he's run into some trouble.
Really?
Lately. Well, you know, child stars that can happen, and he's a good example. So feel free to look him up.
Man. And you know, I gotta say, he just had. I think he had a lot of the laughs too.
Oh. Absolutely. Some of the best ones.
Yeah.
He, even more so than Kenan Thompson in this movie, and Kenan Thompson was good in this movie. Nothing beats Kenan Thompson. He's so funny.
When Josh disappeared, when they kicked him out.
Oh, and when he comes back.
I literally went, what did they do to my boy Josh? I literally said that. I was like,
you would have been writing letters to the studio now from a movie that came out.
What did they do to my boy Josh?
20 years ago.
And then I was like, there's no... Dude, they played that lobotomy up a lot.
That was so funny,
though. They played it up for a while.
That's my favorite scene.
I know, but you know what's crazy? They played it up long enough where I was like, is this, like, real?
Yeah.
Like, did this happen? I was like, did this movie
Which is great.
give a lobotomy to a child? Like, what?
You get tricked. Josh tricks the campers when he comes back, and you get tricked right along with them, and it makes it all the better.
I really thought they did it.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way this movie did this. Like, it was great, though. So, yeah, Lars... hated him, but loved him.
I thought he was, I thought that fella, I don't have his name here, but I thought that actor really did give it his all for that.
Dude, he was honestly, like, probably the biggest stereotype out of them all.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Man, like, they were like, where are you from? And he was like...
That was so funny.
Like,
far away. That made me laugh. I
Like,
like
is
that.
Germany that bad? Like, what the fuck? I mean, the 90s it was, I guess.
Yeah, 90s Germany. You don't want to be caught there. Oh my god.
Man,
I don't know if you know this, but who this movie was written by?
No,
Did you
I
see
have
that?
no idea.
Well, it was Stephen Brill was one of the guys, but the other writer, Judd Apatow.
Oh, wow.
And just from reading his books and interviews with him and stuff, I have to imagine that he, put a fair amount of himself into this.
Yeah.
Definitely not as dramatic as Freaks and Geeks, but there, I think there is a little bit of that in there, and I think it's played in this case more to comedic effect because, especially at the beginning, before Jerry goes to the fat camp, they really drive into you that this kid is a loser.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, 90s people were so mean.
Dude, the dad was so... Wait.
Jeffrey Tambor.
Also, can I say, why did they try to make the dad look so much like Dr. Phil?
I don't know.
Doesn't he look like...
He does.
He literally looks too much
He
like
does
Dr.
look like
Phil. It's
Dr.
Why
Phil.
didn't they just cast Dr. Phil?
I don't know. I don't know if Dr. Phil can act.
I don't know either. But the other thing, I also wanted to say Ben Stiller was I didn't talk enough about him.
Yeah.
He was great. He's literally just his dodgeball character.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But he's still great, and it's awesome. It's
To a
so
lesser
funny.
extent, but you
Oh
can feel the
my
inspiration.
God. My favorite, he's just so ridiculous, and it's so funny. And my favorite scene, I think my favorite scene with Ben Stiller is when he's in the jail cell.
Yeah.
And he makes a Hershey kiss, and he goes to give it to the kid, and the kid, the kid's trying to outsmart him, and it's the British kid, and the kid's trying to outsmart
Nicholas.
him. Yeah.
Oh,
the kid's
Nicholas.
The kid is trying to outsmart him, and he goes, and what does he say? He says, the kid goes, "Why don't you throw it to me?" And he goes, well, then it'd get all smushed up. You wouldn't want that, would you? and then the kid's like, well, that makes sense. Yeah. The kid goes to Ben Stiller, and he goes to grab it, and Ben Stiller drops it, and he goes, whoops. And then he grabs him and puts him in a chokehold.
He's crazy. What? You know, the other thing, the nurse character, who, again, I'm sorry, I don't have her name written down, but fairly early on in the movie, she goes, I have some friends in Child Protective Services. I should give them a call. They must be doing something. I was like, that's weird. Like, that's
he also...
convenient.
It's also weird that she gave him a call, and they were like, that can't work. It'll take too long.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then I thought the ending was great. I loved the ending. Oh my god, the ending was awesome. It was just funny. It was good. It was a good ending. That's all I can
Absolutely.
say. It wasn't as good as the Holes ending, but it was a good.
No.
It was a good ending. You can't beat the Holes ending. The
That's
Holes
tough.
ending is too. It just goes
So
all full
awesome,
circle,
man.
and it's just perfect.
I love that movie so much. Go back and watch the episode of the TV show where we did Holes.
But yeah, the ending for this movie was funny. It was cheesy, but it was great.
Yeah.
It was good. I gotta say, this line, there's always a line at the end of these movies. It's like, oh, why? They just had to do it. They couldn't help themselves. And I'll say the line right now because I wrote it down because I was like, I need to talk about this line and how bad it is. It's great, but it's bad. It's 90s. It is, what's the guy's name? The camp counselor?
Pat?
It's the girl. He goes... one of the characters goes, "Man, you're crazy," and then he goes, you can probably guess what he says.
Yeah.
He goes, "Crazy about my gal," and then he grabs her and kisses her, and I'm like, this movie, why did they?
I love it.
Crazy about my gal.
But it's
puts her in a dive, kisses her. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Ultimately, just an entertaining movie.
Oh my!
You can show it to your children. I think. I just think it's so much fun, this movie, and I'm glad that we did it for a throwback.
I am too. I lost my mind when I heard that line. I lost
So
it.
fun. There are some things in this movie, like if you go back and watch, like I guess you would call them continuity errors, but it's just kind of like characters knowing things that like wouldn't make sense and stuff like that. But
yeah, it was funny.
exactly,
It was a good-
and you have to give it
it's a good
leeway
time.
on that.
It's a good time, and you know it is 90s. And
It's 90s.
it
It's a
aged-
good time.
yeah,
it's 90s. It's fun.
90s. I
Oh
keep
my
saying
God.
it's 90s. That's
It's
just gonna be
90s. It's
saying it.
fun.
90s.
Oh my God.
But like in you know it ages as well as it could age, and
Yeah,
I mean, it's
but I really
fine
liked
movie.
it. What would you rate it?
6.5 out of 10.
I got to give it the same 6.5 juice boxes.
I think that's a good amount. I
Yeah.
could give it. It was one of those scenarios where I was like, I could give this a 6, but
Right,
it's fine.
exactly. But
It's fun.
exactly, it was enjoyable enough. It's 90s. It's fun.
Yeah, and it's not too. It never gets to the point where it's like it's, you know what? It's like Monster Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as Monster Squad, but it's like Monster Squad, where it's like there's parts where it's like so like it's like, man, this is like bad, but it's like so good. But
Yeah,
I actually
happens.
like Monster Squad more than this movie.
I think Monster Squad is
Its own thing.
better in the way where you can kind of laugh at how cheesy it is,
Yeah.
but I think this one has some genuinely enjoyable parts.
You're right. Actually, I'd have to agree. I just think
So I think as a movie, this one,
Monster Squad just made such an impression on me. Like,
and it does. That movie is so fun to watch, but I think as a movie, this one probably takes it.
I'd agree with that. Yeah,
Yep.
I'd agree with that. So, yeah, that's
Yep, first episode of the
man.
podcast in the
we're
books.
Clocked in at an hour and a half. That's pretty good.
Yep, not too bad for the first
Probably
episode.
Cut some stuff out, so and add some stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah. And next week, our throwback of the week is going to be The Departed.
Yep, DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Scorsese movie.
Yep.
Very good.
Andrew's seen it. I've never seen it, so I'm excited to see that one. And yeah, so if you guys want to follow along the next time, or you know, listen in on the throwback, which we're just going to talk spoilers for, because it's been out for a while. Yeah, just listen in and then watch the movie before the next podcast. So there you go. Okay.
Well,
I don't know how to close this.
Yeah. Well, we've got some more episodes on the way, hopefully. And I'm Andrew Canada.
I'm Joe Dorado.
And we'll see you next time at the movies. Take care, everybody.
Candy belongs to Seymour Butts.
Who's Seymour Butts?
Nobody see more butts than you, Uncle Tony.